if you are not utilizing your subconscious mind, you are no different than someone, a soldier caught in the middle of a war and is fighting a powerful army with the latest technology, the latest guns, the latest everything, the latest weapons. And suddenly some aliens come down at you and say, at your army, let's say, and say, hey, we got this technology, you guys are gonna kick ass, here is the most powerful weaponry, here's the most powerful guns. And then you're like, oh, no thanks, I'm just gonna use a kitchen knife here. I'm about to go and run into the army lines, and my kitchen knife will take care of everything. Well, it's the same thing. Look, we're in a war. It's a spiritual war. Humans are highly traumatized. There is a spiritual war going on. It's happening at a different plane. This is like a chess match, and all of us here are pawns in a game, right? And the game takes place in this illusion. It's an illusion. It's basically like a school. It's a kindergarten. Earth is a kindergarten. It's a playground where you play and learn. And so you have these opposing forces, good and evil. And this is a chess. We're all pawns. Some people here, what's his name, Billy Boy, right? Who loves to make everyone healthy, for some reason. Really cares about the health of others. So he's fighting for the evil side, and then you have, like you guys, me, we're sort of fighting for the light side, right? This is Star Wars, pretty much. And so, the mind, and basically the subconscious mind is mostly your mind. Like 95 to 99% of all your life is on autopilot. Your thinking, your thoughts, it's habits, it's habitual. It's all habits. Things you do when you wake up, things you do before you go to sleep, you'll realize it's all programs. When you realize this, you're like, so who's running this show? And then you realize it's your subconscious mind, and then pretty soon you realize it's just like your subconscious mind is a collection of your childhood experiences, your upbringing, your parents, your early childhood friends, movies you watch, TV shows you watch. It's like that's your subconscious. And this is the most powerful weaponry. This is the most powerful, potent technology. And you can tremendously, you can change every aspect of your life in a way that is, it's like, I look at some of my previous versions of myself, it's like past lives, man. Sometimes I will think about my teenage years and I'll be like, did I really experience that? Was I really thinking that way? Was I really acting that way? I did a lot of work and still do massive work to reprogram, uninstall programs that are not serving me, install new ones. So I want to use an example here that a lot of you guys, I think, watching will relate to, which is driving. If you've been driving for some time, and you get in your car, are you thinking? Do you know how complex the activity of driving is? Do you remember when you started learning how to drive a car? I remember. Whew, man, it was scary. And you know what made it even scarier? That my dad was teaching me, and my dad is one of those stuff, like, no, you're doing this wrong. Come on, he's got no patience with this stuff. And already the experience of trying to drive a car was terrifying. Add my dad to the equation and you've got a disaster. Man, that was some scary times. It's complex. You've got to press on the gas, you've got to press on the brake, you've got to reverse, and it gets even worse if you're driving manual. You've got to do all these things. You've got to watch for the pedestrians, but then you've got all these cars around you. And then you got traffic, and then you get on the highway and everybody's going at 100 kilometers an hour, and it's crazy when you think about it like that. When you do remember when you started learning how to drive, it's like the most difficult thing ever. And now you don't even think. Like, you don't think. You reverse. You're like having you're thinking about like the meaning of life, and you're thinking about what you're gonna do later on, and you're thinking about how you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to drop off laundry, you've got to blah, 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 blah. And you're doing this extremely complex behavior. What do you think is doing that? It's your subconscious mind's running that. So despite this behavior being so complex, when you began to learn, the subconscious part of you, the unconscious, the shadow, the one that's in the driving seat of your life, began to be like, okay, that's how you do this, that's how you do this, that's how you do this. And then over a period of time, it collected all through all the different experiences and everything. It collected all these different experiences that you've had, all the things you're learning, and then it every time you went to sleep or meditated, your brain, your neurons, neurological pathways, neuron pathways, their new pathways being formed. You know, it's a new habit, it's a new skill, and then every time you slept, you woke up, and you can now do this activity a little better. Sleep is very important because that's where everything starts to heal. So including the brain, and that's where new activities begin to form, new skills, new neurological pathways, basically. So think about that the next time. If you're underestimating this subconscious, and you listen to these videos and other videos about how important it is to reprogram the subconscious and really become a co-creator instead of just being run by whatever your childhood experiences are, whatever your friends told you something and then you believe them, or yeah, it's your subconscious is a collection of everything that you've experienced since you've come here. And then to add another dimension to it, it's also you have past life DNA within you, codes and experiences, and you can certainly do some work with that also. Release some old traumas. Sometimes, when you have like a weird trauma and you don't know what it is, it could be rooted in the past life. So this is how powerful your subconscious mind, that you can actually do an extremely complex skill, which is, driving a car is complex on itself, but I'm talking about driving on the roads in rush hour with all these people around you. I drove Uber for 7 months, and after like a month, like everything was just second nature. Like I'd be listening to podcasts, I'd be driving the customers, I'd be just doing everything, and I would not be even giving a thought to the driving aspect of things. It's amazing. So how do you go on about reprogramming subconscious? I have a lot of videos on this, guys. Okay, I've been making quite a few videos. I think a lot of our new subscribers came from this video that I made that got a decent amount of subscribers. So welcome to the channel. Check my recent videos within the last 30 to 60 days. I have good videos on that. Okay, but basically, just to give you the conclusion in a nutshell, is you're gonna have to change your brainwave, and you're gonna have to go from normal waking consciousness to dream consciousness, which is theta. So basically meditation, essentially. Okay, meditation. I use binaural beats. I've talked about them in the past. I've just meditated with binaural beats for 40 something minutes, 48 minutes. Man, you come out of it, you're like, whew, you're just like, whoa, I can do anything. And I was actually doing some programming right now. I'm currently undergoing a pretty big project for me personally that I'm not going to talk about yet, but I will in the future once I am integrated in it. And so I am really rewiring my subconscious to really believe that this new reality is before it happens. Okay? So check my recent videos. I will continue to make more videos on this. So, subscribe and just, keep an eye for the next videos. I'll see you guys in the next video.